I guess I was pretty horny, pretty, keyed up from being with the girl right before. I was drunk, too. That was it. I'd had a little to drink. I was a little drunk. Plus, I was horny.
Welcome to Inside the Cage, where every Monday we take a look at a new entry in the portfolio of the world's greatest actor. Today's entry is Vampire's Kiss. I disagree. When the water cooler discussions of hip young 20-somethings fall on the topic of crazy Nick Cage movies, the gold medal example is almost always The Wicker Man. What? That was the clip you were expecting, right? While I'm going to save the analysis of that remake for another day, one thing I would like to get off my chest is that, while certainly crazy, it is also certainly not his craziest. Vampire's Kiss isn't either, but it is his second. Vampire's Kiss is a 1989 horror, drama, comedy, sexy vampire film in which Nick Cage plays Peter Liu, a mentally ill literary agent who may or may not be turning into a vampire. The film bombed, and reviews were not kind. I am not going to sit here and tell you that Vampire's Kiss is an objectively good film. But what I can say is that with some friends and a bottle of booze, it is a very enjoyable film. Here's the thing, rewatchability and quality aren't necessarily correlated. You know, there's many movies we watch once and have no desire to see them again, whereas other movies, perhaps not masterpieces, become our go-tos for lazy days and lonely nights. And what makes Vampire's Kiss rewatchable is this man right here. As for Nick Cage's performance, I will sit here and tell you that it is objectively very good. Well. Nick Cage fans are often accused of liking him ironically, for being a bad actor, and character portrayals like Peter Liu's are usually the reason. But here's the thing again, this isn't a bad performance. I swear. And here's 4 reasons why. Number 1, it's a memorable performance. Without Nicolas Cage in this role, Vampire's Kiss becomes a bore fest. No one would remember it, and the internet would be robbed of one of its favorite memes. If you enjoy that meme, like if you think that's funny, then you should really watch the scene that inspired that meme. Seriously, I fell off my futon laughing the first time I saw it. I was shit-faced, but still, you know, falling off futon laughter, that's next level.
The goddamn contract is somewhere in those goddamn fucking files!
Number 2, it's nuanced. Peter's descent into madness is a lot more gradual than, you know, clips on YouTube would have you believe. And Cage also adds these small quirks that really flesh out the character. One of my favorites is he has this stupid, fake, kind of British accent, and it disappears randomly throughout the movie, but it tends to reappear whenever he's trying to sound more elegant.
I'm Peter Liu.
3, it's hilarious. This is a black comedy. Intentional black comedy. It's supposed to be funny. We laugh at Cage's performance because that is what's intended. Not all comedy has to come from 4-minute line-orama sessions. Sometimes the ridiculous is also worth a chuckle. And number 4, it is unapologetic in its realism. Forewarning, this is gonna be a rant. Okay, so modern film has this tendency to simplify emotional responses, or in this movie's case, disorders, in order to render them less disturbing for audiences. Or to put it in another way,
everybody knows you never go full retard.
This is the same reason why 99% of movie characters get stabbed and the reaction is akin to someone ate the last bagel in the freezer. Because the people behind the scenes are terrified that someone might be too offended or too uncomfortable by accuracy.
Now say it! You're gonna be okay! Say it!
Or what about crying? Like, every bit of bad news, dead dogs, or relationship trauma is always processed in the same one tear elegantly cascading down someone's cheek. Seriously, who cries like this? The only times we ever get an exception is when somebody wants an Oscar, because if we're to show a guy bawling his snotty eyes out, well, that might elicit uncomfortable laughter. And this is Peter Liu's insanity.
Oh God, where am I?
It is not pretty, it is not quirky, it's not even beautiful in its darkness. The rainbow of mental health, or the batshit crazies, as my grandfather might say, it's not just one or two colors. Sometimes it can be ridiculous, it can be over the top. This is Nicolas Cage's interpretation of insanity uncensored. And it's a fucking ton of fun. In summary, Vampire's Kiss is a shining defense for all of those who admire Nicolas Cage as an actor. We do not like him because he acts crazy. We like him because he has the courage to actually do it. 100% when it's necessary. And sometimes when it's not so necessary. So that's this week's entry. Feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. What's your most rewatched movie? Why do you watch it so many times? Next week, I don't know, probably something more modern.
Alva! Alva! Alva!